have 4 topics. So again, good afternoon, everyone. So if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask questions every now and then. Okay, so what we have on the screen is the summary and synthesis of the module 1. And then please take note of this. So may call someone to read that's on the screen. Okay, randomly. So may I call John Mike. Can you read on what is on the screen according to Tony Tan Kakyong? John Ray? John Mike, sorry, John Mike. Yes, please. And then later on, one of your friends will volunteer. Yes, John Mike? Or someone wanted to... okay. Wala akong sound. Ayusin ko lang. Okay na po. Hello? Am I audible now?
Yes po, madam.
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes po, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what I am saying earlier, so this afternoon we are going to summarize the synthesis. The first part, which is we are going to look into the module of the first part. So as I'm calling earlier, so may I call John Mike? Okay, so any volunteer? John Mike might have no signal, so may I call Maritoni? Okay, so first slide on the screen. Anyone volunteer? Maritoni, can you read what's on the screen, please? Go
Hello,
ahead,
I am
please.
audible, ma'am.
Yes po.
According to Tony Tan Kakyong, chairman of the Jollibee Foods Corporation, if you dream big and put your dreams into action, you will definitely make mistakes. But don't be scared to make mistakes. Just be quick to recognize them and learn from them as fast as you can.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you, Maritoni. So, anyone from the class to explain? Or what is your idea of what Tony Tan Kakyong said? Volunteer. Sige po, para hindi kayo mag-left sa Gmeet. Okay, are you aware that Jollibee started with what product? Sa ano po bang produkto
Magnolia.
nag-umpisa? Yes po, Maritoni.
Hello. I just watched it a while ago. Jollibee started with an ice cream parlor. I think it's Magnolia ice cream. Then
Yes po.
then people just like ordering. They want hot stuff. Then they started to make that. And until na naging ano na, at I think it's 1978 or 1975 nag-start ang Jollibee.
Yes po. Thank you very much. So, that is true and correct that Jollibee Corporation started with ice cream. So, yan po yung una nilang product. Hindi po fries, hindi din po burger, hindi din spaghetti. Okay, so nag-umpisa po sila sa ice cream. Okay, so kung titingnan nyo ngayon, side dish na lang or dessert na lang yung ice cream sa kanila. Hindi na din nga ice cream, Magnolia ice cream. So, they have their Sunday. Okay po. So, this is one of the example when we try to consider that one business can start to small one. So, lahat ng business establishment na malaki na ngayon, hindi sila nag-umpisa sa malaki. So, how about SM? Saan po ba nag-umpisa ang SM? So, their CEO and founder is? Yes, Christian? Can you give us the idea regarding SM and what product they started? Okay, so is Christian around?
Madam,
Yes po.
dito po,
Okay.
yung nag-found po si Henry Senior,
Yes.
founder of
Yes
SM
po.
Group.
Yes po. What is their product when they started? Okay, so start with letter S. Sige, I'll give you a clue.
Ma'am, hello po.
Yes po,
Sapatos,
my
madam.
company. Yes.
Shoes.
Okay, thank you, Christian. They started with a product of a shoe. Okay, until they reach nationwide that we already have more product than that. Okay, even Jollibee, so they started with ice cream and now look at them. Where are they? They are international and worldwide. Okay, so what I'm trying to impose to you and share to you is this big company started with small. So if you try to start now with a small thing, we can now consider that someday it will grow big. Okay, and you can expound. Okay, so let us now proceed to the next one. So the first topic that we have with your module 1, session 1, we have the entrepreneurship and his roots. So according to Frank Knight, there are two different kinds of risk where distinguished. One is capable of being measured and the other one is unmeasurable. So in economics, so the higher the risk, the higher the return. So in business, it is also like that. The higher the risk, the higher the return. But if you fail, the risk is also big. Okay, so with the difference between the measured and the unmeasured risk, so incapable of being measured, an example of this is the objective and probability that an event will happen. And this can be shifted from the entrepreneur to another party by insurance. Okay, but the other way around, the unmeasurable, so there is no objective measure of the probability of gain or loss. The inability to predict consumer demand. So these are the risks that we are going to consider, the measured and the unmeasured. Okay, according naman to Joseph's computers, and his discussion on innovation and how it is vital component of who an entrepreneur is the greatest insight where innovation is the driving force that only of a capitalism but also an economic progress in general. Entrepreneurs are the agents of innovation. Okay, so you yourself is an agent of innovation. So if you are going to look at the vision of Bicol University, there are terms such as the change agents. Okay, so one of being an international and worldwide graduate. So we are trying to consider that you are change agents in terms of innovation. Okay, so under this, there are five types of innovation. Okay, so one could be the product, process, business model, and source of supply, where mergers and divestment. Okay, so the highlight of this will be the entrepreneurship is the mindset and the process to create and develop economic activity by blending risk taking, creativity, innovation with sound management within a new or an existing organization. Okay, so if you are going to have these five types of innovation, you can be considered as a you can be an agent of this innovation. Okay, so if you're going to look into the session one, so in session two, I mean, so there are entrepreneurs that can be identify opportunities in the market, process market information, bring innovation, take and accept risk, establish venture, and improve existing ones, and managers and as well as leaders. So if you are going to look into the figures on the screen, so entrepreneurs could be linked into this. So we have the wealth, creation, and sharing. So your capital can be created and can also be shared. So we also have entrepreneurs can be a key to community development and create jobs. So these are the three main aspects of being an entrepreneur. So you must have your capital, you have your manpower, and you have your land. So in as such, we can also balance regional development. So previously, all the development in the country is being centralized in the national capital region. But as innovation and as years goes on, so we try to consider that development must be balanced not just in one corner of a specific country. So region-wide, it has been consideration that the GDP must be observed, particularly in the GDP and the per capita income. Okay, and then this GDP is being measured in terms of the standard of living. And then, if we are now trying to consider a worldwide development, we can now consider export. So, if you are going to look into, the GDP is composed of your export and import. So, with export, which we try to consider more if we are producing more and we try to sell it outside the country. So that is why we have to consider export rather than import. But what the economy wants is a balance between the import and the export. Okay. So the impact of entrepreneur in the entrepreneurship could be of the following. So we have the first economic growth. So when we try to consider economic growth, once your business grows, you contributed to the development of a specific area in a specific economy. So example here is one specific business establishment pays their annual taxes. So this, if a specific business establishment earn more, they pay higher taxes and they contributed to the economy of a specific area. Also, so one of the impact of the entrepreneur is creates job. Okay, so but sad to say, during the pandemic, unemployment increases. But before unemployment, the problem in the unemployment uh, decreases. But during the ECQ and GCQ, unemployment increases. So as of today, 1/3 of the manpower of the Philippines try to consider unemployment. Okay, so may I just ask question? Is full employment good to the economy? Which mean uh, all the all the people within the manpower, which is the 18 years old up until 64 years old, has a job. So will be the full employment give good impact to the economy wherein lahat ng kailangan may trabaho ay may trabaho. Can you give us an idea? Volunteer, please. Or may I call Regine? Okay, Regine. Is full employment good to the economy? Nakakabuti. Okay, so yes, bakit po? Bakit sa tingin mo na yung kailangang lahat ng may trabaho ay dapat may trabaho? Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, so we are going to synthesize your answer later on. Okay, other idea. Or who among you tells that full employment is bad to the economy?
Ma'am,
Yes po, John Ray.
anong klaseng employment po ma'am? Like mga nagtatrabaho po ma'am offices? Ano po kayan po ma'am? Ang tinutukoy mo
Ang
po ma'am?
Apo, ang sinasabi ko po, yung lahat ng kailangan may trabaho, dapat may trabaho. Which is, yung 18 years old, which is the legal age to work, ay may trabaho hanggang 64 years old. So all the population within this age range may trabaho. Nakakabuti po ba yon sa ekonomiya or hindi? So according to
Depende po ma'am
Regine,
kung
yes po.
yes. Depende po
Yes,
ma'am
John
kung
Ray.
halimbawa po ma'am kung lahat po ma'am ng like for example 18 years old to 64 years old may trabaho like in offices. Hindi rin po ma'am maganda sa economy kasi wala nang magfo-focus doon sa mga sektor na nagko-contribute po ma'am para mapalago ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Like for example sa agriculture, kailangan po ng mga magsasaka. Kung lahat po
Okay,
ma'am
thank you.
kung lahat po ma'am ay magtatrabaho na mayroong employment at wala na po ma'am magfo-focus sa like po ma'am sa agriculture, wala na po ma'am magsasaka kasi nga may trabaho na po ma'am. Parang mawawalan po ma'am ng isang kumbaga parte yung ekonomiya natin po ma'am. Yung agriculture po ma'am isang factor po ma'am para mapalago yung economy kasi napoproduce po yan ma'am ng mga agricultural products na ini-import po at ini-export natin. At isa yan po ma'am sa nagko-contribute ng para mapalago ang ating ekonomiya. Kung mawawalan po ma'am ng mga magsasaka dahil yun nga po may employment pero yun din po ma'am ang disadvantage kung lahat po ma'am ay employed na po ma'am yun po ma'am yung
Okay,
opinion ko lang po ma'am.
thank you, Sandy. Opo, thank you for your opinion. Okay,
Thank
so
you
what
din
I
po
mean
ma'am.
by lahat ng may trabaho is lahat ng sector natin may napupunan ng manpower. So, halimbawa, even the fisherman, trabaho din po yun. Even the farmer, trabaho din po yun. Okay, so any other opinion or idea of my question is that, full employment is good or bad to the economy? Sige nga, let's call Anne Marie. Or any other volunteer po, Anne Marie?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Hello po.
Juan Rafael. Isa-isa muna po. I know you have all your opinion. Okay. So, sa nag-volunteer, I'll call first Juan Rafael.
Okay po, ma'am. For me po, ma'am, it's not possible and it's not attainable po, because, madam, it has a detriment in economic aspect po, madam. Like for example, it will have a full employment and full capacity wherein all the um, all the resources will be utilized po, madam. So it's not possible, madam, na lahat po tayo magkakatrabaho. So may tinatawag na retirement, um, may retirement. Yun lang po, madam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan Rafael. O, sino yun kanina? Ay, so, Nathalie. Then,
Hello po,
tama ba? Okay,
madam.
sige. Yes po.
Good afternoon po.
Good
I think, ma'am,
afternoon.
it's both po, ma'am. Good for the economy and good for the people, and good for the economy, bad for the people, and good for the people and bad for the economy. If we will be having a full employment po, madam, ibig sabihin po nun, dadami po yung number of people that are employed. And if that will happen po, madam, tataas po yung demands natin. And if tataas po yung demands, tataas din po yung presyo ng mga bibilihin. Ganon lang.
Okay, thank you very much, Nathalie. Okay, so, isa pa. Kanina, nakita ko din si Paolo Isidro.
Apo. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Hello.
I
Good
think
afternoon.
ma'am, it is not possible po, ma'am, na magkaroon ng full employment kasi we must look into the numbers of employers and yung opportunity po. And
Wait lang po. Nasa klase po ako. Wait lang. Sorry for the interruption. Sige, go ahead, Paolo Isidro.
Apo, ma'am. I think, ma'am, it is not possible, ma'am, to have full employment because we must look into the numbers of employer and opportunities po. Taken into consideration, ma'am, lahat ng tao may trabaho. Yung compensation, yung well compensated po ba lahat? We must consider yung compensation, we must consider yung division of work, then we must consider po yung numbers of opportunities and employers. Kung lahat, madam nagtatrabaho, who will provide for the family po? So, yan lang po.
Okay, so thank you very much for your answers. Okay, so let us now consider. Halimbawa, kayo, after you graduate, what are your parents' plan for you? Or what is your plan for yourself? Diba, sinabihan tayo ng mga nanay natin, nung elementary pa lang tayo, mag-aral ka anak ng mabuti para magkaroon ka ng trabaho pagka-graduate mo. Okay, so we are heading towards employment. Okay, so kung titingnan natin, according to the specific economic law, theory, that full employment is bad to the economy. Technically. Okay, so technically, full employment is bad to the economy. Sabi ng pilosopo kong estudyante, so ma'am, okay lang po pala na may tambay. The answer is opo. Okay lang na may tambay in the general perspective of the economy. Okay. So, pero ang tanong mo naman, kung tambay ka, paano ka po kakain? So, paano mo mabibili yung gusto mo? So, that is why, when we try to consider yung sagot kanina ni Nathalie, correct me if I'm wrong, that if you are trying to consider the demand and supply in the economy, if more of us works and has an income, definitely more of the people can have the purchasing power kung saan may kakayanan kang bumili. Okay. So, what the problem is now is kung may kakayanan kang bumili, pero yung kagustuhan mong bilhin, madami kayong gumugusto. So, halimbawa, gusto mo ng iPhone, anong updated mo niyan? Sorry, I'm not using iPhone. iPhone 12. Okay, so if the iPhone 12 is the top now in the market of the iPhone, so, halimbawa, you are 44 in my class and you want to buy iPhone. Pero the purchasing power is now the question. The buying capability of a certain individual. So definitely, kung halimbawa, lahat kayo may kakayanang bumili. Pero in the market, only 10 iPhone 12 is being sold. So definitely, if the market tells us that yes, indeed, you can buy, and all of us can buy iPhone 12, so definitely, what will happen to the 10 products?
Mamahalan po nila.
Anyone? Yes po. Okay. So, tataasan nila yung presyo. So, parang ito din yung nagiging problema ngayon sa bigas. So, habang may kakulangan sa bigas at madami ang may kakayanang bumili or kakayanang bilhin ang bigas, kapag ang bigas sa market ay kokonti, ang sagot ng market ay to increase the price in order for the consumer to be controlled. So, halimbawa, ang naabot kong pinakamurang presyo ng bigas ay 30 pesos per kilo. Okay. So, ngayon, nung nag-grocery ako kahapon, the price of the rice per kilo is now up until 45. So, halimbawa, kung dati nakakabili ako ng 1 kilo, isang araw, 'di ba, at 30 pesos, ngayon, kung bibili ako, hindi ko na kayang bilhin yung 45. So, definitely, bibilin ko na lang ay half kilo. Okay. So, parang ito din, ang full employment, hindi siya nakakabuti sa ekonomiya. Pero, what the economy wants is for us to have a minimum number of unemployed. Pero ngayon, nagiging problema siya because most of the establishment and business industries closes. So definitely, the unemployment increases. And therefore, the purchasing power of an individual decreases. So what will happen in the market? So, kahit madami yung produktong gustong ibenta ng mga nagbibenta, yung kakaya nating bumili, mababa. So, definitely, ang sagot naman dito ay for us to create more job in order for the economic growth or to boom the economy again. Pero hindi naman ginugusto ng isang ekonomiya na lahat ng may trabaho ay kailangan may trabaho. Or even of the small job. Halimbawa, farming, fishing. Okay, so trabaho pa din po yun. So if we are now going to create more job, we are trying to help the economy. But it doesn't mean that if we create more job, it is good to the economy. Okay, so what we want is a balanced economy. Okay, so again, two of the impact of the entrepreneurs is bring innovations. And we create wealth. Okay, so creating job is creating wealth. So why does the economy consider us or encouraging more job to be created by entrepreneurs? Why? Because one business created, you can create two or more, you can acquire two or more manpower. So that is why. So this is also an answer to economic growth. Question po?
None.
None
Okay,
po.
so may I proceed? So, on the third session, opportunity identification is a continuous process throughout the entrepreneurial process. So, halimbawa, isang assignment na highlight ko which I require you to submit is you have to interview an entrepreneur. So hopefully, they try to inspire you. So yun naman yung sa bawat nakakausap natin. So little by little, one individual can inspire you. Even not technically to create or to start up a business. So with this, we try to consider opportunity identification. So when you were inspired by someone you interviewed earlier, which I read it, and later we're going to have a sharing. So I'll ask one volunteer to share someone you interviewed. Okay, so here, it should be first, process is personal evaluation. And then we consider your creativity, the brain writing. So once you have your idea, you try to consider conceptualizing it, and then in order for us not to forget about it, we try to write it and we try to plan it. And then once you have this, you can now consider problem solving and of course needs. So these are the five that we try to highlight in the opportunity identification. Okay, remember, when may mga nakikita ang mata natin na kailangan natin pagkakitaan. Okay. So dito naman sa personal initiative and self-motivation, wherein it helps the entrepreneur to initiate action and to achieve goals. Okay. It is a behavior by an individual that is characterized by being self-starting, being self-proactive, and being persistent in the pursuit of a goal. Okay, balikan ko si Jollibee. Okay, kung si Jollibee nag-start sa isang produkto, which is ice cream. So, and then if we are now going to look into how far they grow. So, meron na ngayong, they already have the spaghetti to cater the kids. Okay, they also have the burger. So next in line of their product after the ice cream, they add on a burger. And then they also have, syempre kapag kumain ka, nauuhaw ka, and then they add on a drink. And then ito namang drinks, they try to have innovation. So they also cater coffee. So, but hindi po ako endorser ng Jollibee. I am just giving an example. Okay, so isa sa kasi sa aware ako is the Jollibee because this is one of the famous of their startups. Okay, so balikan ko. Di ba, after this, they also have after the drinks, they try to innovate with their Coke float. Okay, so meron na din na Royal float ba ang tawag doon, tas Sprite float. Okay, minsan kain lang po ako. And then they also have the coffee float, the chocolate float, and everything. And then follows. And then, yung kinater naman nila na hindi lang bata in terms of spaghetti, meron din silang palabok. Okay, and then, all throughout the day, hindi din sila nag-create lang ng snacks. They also created breakfast meal. They also have the chicken. So, medyo late na nung na-discover nila na idagdag si chicken. Pero ngayon, ang highlight ng product nila ay chicken. Okay. So, with this first part of the module, so this is what they try to tell us, that we should take action of our dreams or of our creativities and make things happen. Okay, so I'll just share this to you. No, kung sinabi ng mga nanay natin, tatay natin, ng relatives, and kung sino man na nag-aral ka, iho-iha ng maayos. And after that, try to look for a job. Ngayon, hindi na po. If you have the resources, you can immediately start your own business. Or, pwede din, after you earn income and then you try to save. So, savings must always consider a startup of a business. So, hindi ka naman nag-ipon ng Monday to Friday, gagastusin mo ng Saturday pang day. Okay, so all your savings must have a purpose. And this purpose must be that you earn double beyond what you save. Okay, mas madami na ngayon na you are currently working and currently you have your business. You have your income regularly, and then you also have your business. So, madami na ang ganito na they are trying to have a regular job and they are trying to have their own business wherein they created job. Okay. So, as to the conclusion of the first part, always take note that there are three types of people in the world. Number one, those who make things happen. Second, those who watch things happen. Third, those who wonder what happened. So this is now my question to you, and I'm not looking forward of an answer for now. So ikaw, saan ka dito? In 3 semesters, after this semester, you will, and you are going to graduate. And you must graduate. Okay. So tatanungin na kita, with your dreams and goals in life, who are you among these three? Will you be the one who make things happen? Or the one who watch things happen? Or the one who wonder what happened? Okay, so this is a famous saying by Mary Kay Ash. Okay, so may I just continue if you are trying to look into that you are one among those three. Okay, the aspect of personal initiative is being self-starting, which implies that an entrepreneur starts doing something without being told. Okay. So sa bahay nyo ngayon, di ba? We always stay at home. So ang tanong, do you consider the household chores being part of it? Or you try to, okay lang, nag-online class naman po kami, kayo na maghugas, maglinis, magwalis. Okay. So being a proactive is to have long-term focus. A long-term focus always anticipating future problems or opportunities. So, kung nangarap ka nung grade 1 ka na you want to be a doctor, you want to be a teacher, you want to be something, or you just want to consider any of your dreams, you want to be a sociologist, you want to be a philosopher, so definitely, it is not just what you want. You have to make those things happen. Okay, being persistent implies that an entrepreneur does not give up when facing obstacles or problems but find other ways to achieve the goal. Okay, so madaming nasagasaan ito ngayong lockdown. So for all those who have business, they all had these struggles. Okay, so going back again with Jollibee, which is I'm not an endorser. Are you aware that there is a period of time na most of their branches closes? One of which in Bicol is their branch in Gaisano. Okay, they closes immediately after going back with GCQ. They try to shut off their best establishment. And with McDonald's, nagsara din yung branch nila malapit sa BUC BEM and BUC SSP. But now, they are now again operating. So they started, I think, August, nag-open, hindi. They closed this August and they started lately lang, ngayong January. Okay, so these are the obstacles and that we try to consider. Okay, so on the module that I gave you, we have this step in actions, wherein we have the self-starting, proactive, and persistent. Okay, I'll just read and highlight these goals: information collection, the plan and execution, the monitoring and feedback. Okay, with your self-starting, you have your self-set goals. And you must also have your active goals. Okay, so kung ikaw din ay katulad ko na nagdo-notes ng kung anong gusto, and then kapag nangyari na, binabalikan ko kung nangyari nga ba, and then we try to analyze it. If we try to have a proactive and persistent regarding your goals. Okay, so we anticipate future problems, opportunities, and convert it into goals. So ngayon, most of our students in CBEM uh, was already engaged in business. Based on their lockdown experience. So they try to sell online, they try to cook, they try to venture into gardening, planting. So these are the opportunities they try to consider. And then they protect their goals when frustrated or taxed by complexity. Okay, with your information collection, we consider in the self-starting, the active search scanning, and then we try to be proactive in considering potential problem areas before they occur. So, hindi pa nangyayari yung problema, pinaghahanda na. And they try to consider maintaining search in despite of setbacks. So, kung nagsara man yung mga ibang negosyo ngayon, particularly with the transportation business, so they must go on. And what they try to consider is they maintain search in spite of setback. Okay, with your plan and execution, there in the self-starting, it must always be active plan. Okay, with the proactive, back up with plans, have plans for opportunities ready. Okay, and overcome barriers, return to plan when disturbed. Okay, now, uh, one thing you must consider, diba, I know you are going to have your thesis. When you have your thesis, always back up with a plan B. So you want this study. You wanted to study a specific title, but definitely you cannot consider an answer to your questions. So there must be a backup plan. So kung pwede nga, di ba, plan A to Z. So with your 26 plan, imposibleng wala kang hindi ma-backup doon. And lastly, you must consider monitoring and feedback. In the self-starting, you self-develop feedback and then active search for feedback. And then when we try to consider the proactive, develop pre-signals for potential problems and opportunities. And then, again, you should protect feedback search. So these are the entrepreneur and personal initiative. You must try to consider always yourself and try to consider some goals and problems in the future. Okay, so with your self-starting behavior and reactive behavior, so I will not read it, but try to consider that when we start an action yourself, change your environment and favorable circumstances. Okay, act first, be ahead of your competitors, be new, actively look for new ideas, implement new ideas. So when you plan to have a business, you must not stick to one product unless it has a lesser competitions. Okay, be different from your competitors. Always consider this. Look for information and possibilities to learn. Alright, so may I now look into, give you some graphics and review again in synthesizing module 1. So when you see with your eyes an opportunity, we try to consider your personal evaluation, creativity, problem solving, and need. And we must consider entrepreneurial mindset and process, considering risk and innovation, wherein there are personal initiative where we need to be proactive, always consider that make things happen. And there must always be an impact to the society, considering economic growth, job, jobs creation, innovation, and wealth. So, and then your output is to identify business opportunity and develop business idea. Okay. So, for the overview of your second module, so we should consider consumer needs and wants, product service, marketing mix, competitor analysis, marketing strategy, product strategy, pricing strategy, and distribution strategy. Okay, so in the third part, we must consider goal and goal setting, plans and develop plans, goals and objective, and always be proactive and persistent. Okay, so this is now an overview to our succeeding module, starting with this, where we try to consider your vision, mission, strategy management, SWOT analysis, positioning, and the firm. So with what is SWOT analysis? So you have your strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and what's the T?
Threats po,
Lagot.
ma'am.
Okay, so sorry, threat. Okay, so threat. Thank you for that. And then we have the business strategy and operation plan. And when you consider our module 1, diba, we see things and we make things happen. On this second part of the module, which will be the topic for the next succeeding week, so we are now going to converting business idea in